It has been a week, so we are going to talk about nice, happy things like Star Wars and Doctor Strange and probably Animal Crossing again, because those things make us happy. All that and more right now on Up at Noon.
Up at noontime, Papa. Did we start? Oh man, I've been singing that song for 45 minutes. And you just caught me in the shower.
Those lyrics are top secret and for internal use only. We have an entire multiverse song that goes to that awful theme song.
Yep.
It's a real good one. We like it a lot. Hey everybody, welcome to Up at Noon.
Yeah.
I'm Max Scoville. This is Brian Altano.
What's up, baby?
This is a show where we talk about things that we enjoy.
Yes.
Like toys. And those colors. We don't like any of the other colors, just those ones, the orange, the turquoise, the white, that sort of maroonish.
What?
I'm just kidding, I like green too. Anyway.
We're not doing that.
Rainbows are great. Anyway, if you're just watching Up at Noon for the first time in history, there's lots of different ways you can go about doing it. It's always kind of weird to tell people how to do that at the top of a live show, because they're already watching it one of these ways, so maybe, I don't know.
Well, it's like being in like an AMC theater and you're like, you can watch this movie in dozens of other theaters right now. And you're like, I'm already here.
Why'd I come to this one? Anyway, we are on the IGN.com, the PS4, Xbox One IGN apps, the Roku app, the Apple TV app, the Twitch.tv/IGN, Facebook, and YouTube. I've literally never even seen us on Facebook. They added that, but we're always doing the show live, so it's kind of weird that it's just a thing that...
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's good.
Yeah,
this is a good day to find us on Facebook.
I know
specifically.
That people who do like live stream stuff, they're usually like, hey, BongLord69 in the comments said, what's up, BongLord?
Yep.
We have a hard time doing that because we're on so many different platforms, so we try to track the hashtag Up at Noon on Twitter.
Which a lot of people are using right now to yell at Vince Ingenito for signing in to his PSN account.
Way to go,
We had no
Vince.
idea he was doing that. Feel free to troll him for that.
Emil Peterson sent us a picture of an antique shovel he bought because he really likes Battlefield 1. I respect that.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway,
I'm a big fan of that.
It's the best time of year for video games right now.
Yeah.
It's just, they're all coming out. And
Yep.
it's I actually had that momentary panic because I'm downloading, digital copies of stuff. And I'm like, do I need to delete things I like off my hard drive to make room? And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm playing like 5 games at once right now.
We gotta get you a bigger hard drive.
Yeah.
Get you that PS4 Pro.
Yeah, maybe I could get two PS4s and put them on top of each other and then forget which one's plugged in.
That's what they're doing with that system. They make it looks like a big sandwich cookie.
Yeah.
Big yummy
Anyway,
boy.
what's so great about video games?
That was a very incredulous way
Sorry,
of asking.
what's so great about video games?
Okay, so let's get into it, and without really getting into it. But obviously this week was very difficult for a lot of people. It was a very divisive week for a lot of people. Pretty much in America, we had a major election and things were split down the middle. I'm not here to yell at you for who you voted for or complain about who won or didn't win, or it doesn't matter. What I realized that this week is that no matter what happens, as long as there's a computer in the world plugged into something, someone will be able to make a video game. And they'll be able to share that video game with other people, which means that will bring joy to others. Why are video games important to us right now? Well, because video games represent escapism, but video games do more than that. They also represent bringing us together. You probably think video games and you look at the comment sections of things and you're like, everyone's fighting, they're arguing. It's basically an election between the PS4 and the Xbox One. The Wii U is basically an independent candidate. There's a Switch coming out next year. I don't want to focus on that stuff. Max, I don't think you do either. Let's talk about why video games are more important than ever.
I've always said that video games are the highest form of escapism. Like,
Yeah.
they are the culmination of every other form of fantasy media possible, like movies, books, toys.
Yep.
It's just, they're alternate realities that you can just immerse yourselves in. Or, if they're not something that you're doing by yourself, they're an incredibly social thing. But end of the day, they're somewhere between dreams and toys, put it that way. They're not here, but they're not there either, so,
I really love it when you call it that. When we talk about escapism, I think that it has sort of terrifying negative connotation of like the ostrich with its head buried in the sand. I don't really think it's like that, because I think escapism can be positive in the way that video games, they give us a diversity in narrative. And I don't just mean that in ticking off boxes, but they'll allow me to be something that I can't be in real life, like a fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah, or a large golden woman who hates cop cars.
Or a muscular guy, like who doesn't eat a lot.
Yeah, or a dog.
Or I can eat a whole pizza and not feel bad, and I can eat it off the street in Ninja Turtles. Another reason I love video games is because they allow us to travel to distant worlds. In the last year, I was lucky enough to go to Paris twice. I'm playing a game called Eagle Flight now, which allows me to fly over Paris as an eagle, and I don't, like, I'm at home in my apartment, and I'm like, I can't leave, I can't go anywhere. There were protests outside, there were riots, and I'm like, I want to turn on my TV and play a video game. I played Watch Dogs 2 last night, which takes place in San Francisco. No one was really fighting in that version of it. It was kind of nice. I had a good time driving around that city.
Yeah, on that note, I mean, escapism, I think, is really, it's important, you know, all things in moderation, including moderation, but like, you know, I get depressed. I get sad. It's that time of year. It's suddenly, oh, hey, it's darker outside earlier because of some insane Ben Franklin lampblack oil scheme to, I don't know.
Get it together, Benny F.
It's getting cold out. It's getting, you know, crappier to go outside. And sometimes I just don't want to get out of bed. And it's like, you know, sometimes I just ride it out.
Yeah.
And I just play a video game. I go to someplace else, go to someplace wonderful and sunny and far away. Or, you know, maybe there's a wizard there. I don't know. Maybe I want to punch him in the face. Maybe I can. Skyrim's out again.
And you know what? When you do that, no one's going to be there to judge your decisions. No one's going to be there to chastise you or scold you.
No, that's not true. I actually have a bounty on me in Whiterun because I set a dog on fire.
Oh, you got to stop doing that.
Sorry.
At the very least.
I wanted a hot dog.
I also, damn it. Another reason I really love video games is because I do feel like they bring people together. And I don't just mean in those corny, like whitewashed Wii U commercials where everyone's just kind of sitting in these apartments when everything's okay.
That one dorky girl shows up with her Switch and she's like, hey everybody, let's play Mario. And everyone's like, we were enjoying IPAs. What are you doing in our rooftop banquet?
I mean, we started off this episode, our pre-show, where Max and I playing a video game together, sitting on two chairs next to each other, laughing, having a good time. Video games have that power. They do have the power of bringing us together. They do have the power of bringing people in the same room and bringing us joy. And lastly, I think that a great thing about video games is that you can use them to create things. You can use them to celebrate the creativity of others, or you can use them to actually make things yourself. Video games now more than ever, you look at stuff like Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, Mario Maker. Like, this is stuff where you can actually bring people in the same room. Minecraft, it's about building, it's about sharing, it's about connecting. We need to be doing more of that than ever right now, regardless of who you voted for or what you think about politics or anything like that. We need to bring the world together in the best ways we know how. And one way we know how to do that is with video games.
Yeah, so there's that.
Now, unfortunately, because of the high tension and stress and sort of drama and everything that's been going on in the world, you might be a little bit down right now, and more than ever, video games are important for that too. So to bring that in and to make this better for everyone, we thought we'd bring in one of our most frequently sad friends.
I was going to say the exact opposite. Marty's like the happiest guy here.
Marty's
always laughing.
Hey, Marty.
I'm always doing a good giggle. Hi, guys.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing real well. I don't want to warn you, or I don't want to alarm you. Evidently, your mics have been scratchy.
Oh, really?
Scott Bromley's not happy.
Ah, well, when is
I
he?
don't want to make a scratchy microphone.
It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't make this damn thing.
We're doing good. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
How you guys
Scratchy?
doing?
Okay.
That's probably just my voice.
So let's
a
talk
cold.
about how video games can bring us up when we're feeling down. Because I think that people have been kind of all over the place emotionally this week.
Sure.
And that's okay. It's okay to feel that. And obviously, you got, like Max was talking about, there's seasonal depression. There's the end of the year. There's that sort of just like culminations of all the feelings and all the things that you have. 2016 as a whole, let's be totally honest, not a great year.
Well, and we're a real far away from Arbor Day.
Yeah.
And it's like the happiest day of the year for most folks.
Most people, just the trees all over the place. It's
Lumberjacks
really
hate that day.
Yeah, they're not fans.
Not a fan. Actually, they're kind of happy about it because they're like 20 years from now, fresh new trees to chop down. So let's talk about video games that can bring you up. And I don't mean raise you up, but I mean actually raise your spirits and lift you up. Because, there's a lot of video games.
And we don't mean like
play.
give you a boner either, unless you're really weird.
I mean, some of these games can give you a bonus.
Yeah, Animal Crossing definitely gives me a boner.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, not really. But no, like Animal Crossing, we've talked about this a lot. I've never played this game. I really want to get into it. It's just like it's a happy Animal Land. It's like a Richard Scarry GTA, probably the closest we're going to get to that.
So what I love about Animal Crossing is that you don't really get a timer in this game. You're not really threatened by any sort of impending doom. There's no giant moon about to hit the world.
Isn't there just that man who comes out of the ground and says you owe him money or something?
It's only if you reset, and you don't have to pay him anything. Don't listen to his lies.
I mean, that's the thing.
Don't pay that mole anything.
I feel like a lot of the games we're going to talk about are games where there's not a lot of friction.
Yeah.
That's what's nice. And this thing, like the only thing that worries me a little bit about this game is if you put it down for like 6 months, you come back and like your neighbors died.
Yeah,
and
people
like, there's a bunch
move,
of
they
weeds.
leave. But you know what? What I really love about that is how forgiving it is. Like, I picked up Animal Crossing last week, and this like rat dude in town was like, "Dude, where in the hell have you been?" And I was like, "I was busy."
They
and he
put
was
in
like,
a Quiznos.
he was like, "I we cool. Like, he forgot about it. And like a second later, he was like, so I lost my hat.
Yeah.
You think you can help me find it? And I'm like, I love how quickly this guy forgave me.
Well, and it's nice that you can spend the game collecting fossils, where in real life, if you collect fossils, you're sort of a weird dude.
Yeah, or you just,
Yeah, I mean, I
digging-
think it's illegal
Yeah.
if you just go find old street fossils,
I
right?
don't know if there, is there like a law against just digging up trash?
Yeah, I mean, that was Prop
Street
31.
fossils? Okay.
You can't,
I'm
like,
not sure if it passed
if
or
you
not.
so in my town growing up, I lived near Route 17 in New Jersey, and they were doing highway work, and they found a bunch of mammoth skulls there. And they're like, this is real cool. But you couldn't have just gone over there and been like, yo, let me have one of those legs. Like, you got to put that in a museum so everybody can share. And that's what you got to do in Animal Crossing.
So shifting gears, the Zelda series has
Yeah.
always been just prime fantasy. Wind Waker especially is just such a cheerful game.
Yeah, I know this game starts with your sister getting kidnapped. Kind of a dark scenario.
Actually, it's pretty dark. It's a pretty dark game. There's some stabbing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
one of the nice things is, I don't know if you guys have played this recently, but everyone in the world is hitting on Link, even though you're a child, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird, but it's real weird. I figure everyone in
Yeah.
this Hyrule.
I think
wants
it's
to
real.
sex
It's
with
real.
them.
It's real good for your
Sexy boy.
self-esteem. Boosts you up real hard.
You also have a cool boat that talks, and it's a lion, which
Yeah,
seems really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
All
let's
right.
talk about the best part about that game is that you get on a boat who's your friend, and you go all over the ocean. You can do whatever you want. You can go fishing. You can go just go hang out, find islands with treasures. Like, you don't actually have to do any missions in that game. You can just kind of like sail around. Have the high seas. You got those cartoon clouds everywhere. It's real nice until you
right.
see those tornado boys.
Yeah,
That's
don't go
scary.
there.
Then of course there's Minecraft.
Yep.
It's the open world Lego. It's just look at that. You can do anything in there. I love that at this point we're so deep into Minecraft that like imagine it and it's probably out there.
You don't even have to play Minecraft. You can just go on YouTube and watch Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what I love about this game is the soundtrack. A lot of people talk about the art and the creativity of it all, but the soundtrack is one of the most soothing things. It's like getting a couples massage with a
Yeah.
video game.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
a
just
weird way to put
dainty
it.
piano music the entire time.
Yeah.
Now you can play Minecraft two different ways. One is the sort of night threat mode where you have to build a cabin out of dirt while skeletons are attacking you, or you can just do the one that's real relaxed and creative mode where you can literally fly and build buildings and cities in the skies. I really
But
like
don't
it.
don't play it in VR because the spiders that come out are very large.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do that.
Then of course Rare
Yeah.
Replay.
Yeah, this is the thing about this is pretty much 30 games that are all comfort food. Even the ones that are violent, like Perfect Dark for Nintendo 64 was
Yep.
so sort of silly and over the top that it's still totally fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything from Banjo to Viva Pinata to I don't want to mention Battletoads because don't play Battletoads.
Battletoads actually is a really bad game to play if you're remotely emotionally unhinged.
Yeah.
The first few levels are fine, and then you get to that speeder bike and it falls apart.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Viva Pinata, a lot like Animal Crossing, is one of those games that doesn't have friction.
Yep.
And then for me, Banjo-Kazooie is a game where I remember it. I remember everything about the game. We replayed it on Christmas,
Yep.
and without looking at a guide, we got all 100 jiggies.
Isn't that awesome?
yeah.
And I can do that with Mario 64, which is just sort of like you sit down and you're like, I know where everything is in this
Yeah.
game. Like, chances are that if you grew up with video games in some capacity, there's something on Rare Replay that you can enjoy and rediscover. And the entire package is like, what, like $30?
Yeah, no,
like it's
insane.
dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Then of course Katamari.
Yep.
Just about rolling around picking up trash.
Yeah.
And, I love this image because it really just looks like a Windows desktop wallpaper went completely out of its mind.
Yeah. This is a mess.
And this is another game with
This
the
is-
most soothing soundtrack.
Yeah.
And screaming in Japanese, but it doesn't matter. You didn't know what they're saying.
Yeah, there's something very cathartic about rolling around and just picking up all the stuff in the world and having it connected to a big ball.
And then turning it into a star. Just don't think about the fact that you're killing millions upon millions
Yeah.
of people.
I
Just-
really
Well,
want.
it's
I really want like a Katamari movie by like
Yeah.
the guy who did like Day After Tomorrow or whatever.
Rolling him.
Speaking of killing millions of things and not really thinking about it, Super Mario World in its official lore, in the Mario games in general, says that inside every one of these blocks is a toad, which I think you're technically exploding. Let's not worry about any of that. For me, it's impossible to look at a screenshot of this game without thinking, I really need to play that right now.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate comfort food for me. The Mario franchise in general, bright, colorful, happy, exciting, just challenging enough to make you feel like you're accomplishing something. You can play it two ways where you can be like, I'm gonna collect everything in this level, or I'm just gonna casually get to the end.
Yeah, this is also that amazing nostalgia. Like we played this when we were 5, 10 years old,
Yeah.
back before we had problems and before
Yeah.
there was bullets everywhere.
Yeah,
Bullets
my-
weren't invented.
I had problems when I was 5. What are you talking about? And of course, Pokemon. This
Yep.
is we're so lucky that there's a new one coming out real soon. But really, any of them are great to go back into. There was that huge surge of people jumping back into Red and Blue when Pokemon Go dropped. Pokemon Go is always fun too. It actually gets you out of the house, but like. You know, the regular ones, you just go out there and you just get some damn animals.
So I haven't played Pokemon in a while. Did Ash lose his eye?
Yeah, that happened in the last one. One of the rats
Pikachu
picked it out.
gave him pink eye because he's always like crawling around, just farting in his sleeping bag and stuff.
More like Pink Eye Chew.
Yeah, exactly. Then of course the Lego series, really
Yeah.
any of them. You've got pretty much your choice of fandoms. There's like 7 Star Wars games and,
You
and
have Harry Potter.
Harry
you have-
Potter,
Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Jurassic
the
World.
A-Team, Mission Impossible.
It's really awesome because
Sling
you
Blade,
can take any
The
of your
Hurt Locker.
favorite movies and basically just distill them down to Lego and replay your favorite scenes from those films. What I really like about this is they kind of lean highly towards couch co-op. So they're
totally.
really fun games to play in the same room with other people.
Can we clear our little lower third camera there for a second, because there's one thing that's very bad going on
Where's
here.
that, man?
Get us out of there. Just
Get
show
us?
it.
You want to move us out of the way? There we go.
Look at
oh,
that
yeah, I like
horrible
him.
thing.
Wait,
Yeah.
whoa! Yeah,
What is that?
I'm getting very uncomfortable. looking
Also,
at it.
real
how
bad
is,
Ewok.
how is Leia's top being fastened right now?
I don't want to talk about that.
All right.
Love.
Anyway, here's one of my favorites, Ni no Kuni. It's a playable Miyazaki movie. Essentially, this game is so gorgeous. We're getting a sequel next year. It's kind of a pain because it's only on PS3. I think it's on PS now, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you've never checked it out, it kind of plays like somewhere between like a Pokemon and a Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that before 2 comes out, this is going to be like remastered for PS4.
Yeah,
I think
and
it'll be cool.
it's real pretty. And then finally, Goat Simulator. God, that's a silly game.
Yeah.
I love how the tongue is a key mechanic.
Yeah.
real.
In most games, your tongue is a key mechanic. You can do good kissing in Metal Gear.
Yeah, you can lick a car in this game.
Yeah.
Who's this man on the left? What's his name?
He's
Rod?
about to get dead from the goat.
Chet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I love about this game is it's legitimately like laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Like it is absolutely stupid watching this dumb goat jump off of a roof with his tongue out.
Yeah.
I was playing this game on an airplane a couple days ago, and my fiance was next to me, and she gets horrible airplane anxiety, and we're landing, and I'm just playing it, and I'm just running around like crashing into people, and there's like a dude doing donuts, and I'm just hopping around and then switching between like Fancy Goat, which is a penguin, and she just starts like cracking up laughing at it. She's like, "What is that game?" And I'm like, "Sorry, my Amazon Kindle's drunk. I don't know what to tell you."
I mean, that is escapism at its finest. That's taking your mind off something bad.
Yeah, so there are our favorite, 10 happy games. What are yours? What are some suggestions you have? Let us know. And then moving on.
Yeah. Let's look forward a little bit. Obviously, this year was this year, and we lost Prince and Willy Wonka and
Lemmy from Motorhead.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
like what the.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
great.
This year sucked.
yeah.
So, but we did get awesome games, and I think the coolest thing about the games of this fall is that there were so many of them that got delayed to next year that helped pad the list even more. Like, it just doesn't stop. We've been saying this for years, but like the holiday season goes all the way into the next year. So let's look at 17 reasons why video games will be awesome in 2017.
Let's blast through this real quick.
Yeah.
First things first, we're getting more powerful PlayStations and Xboxes.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
know
that
if that's
Scorpio?
Real, yeah. Well,
Is that
we
what
don't-
the Scorpio's
we don't,
gonna look
we don't know
like?
what Project Scorpio looks like, so that's the best I could do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you see anyone on your way out that you want to kill him, go for it, Homer. We're also getting a new Nintendo console, a brand new one,
Yeah.
and I think this one has a lot of promise. Honestly, like I'm really curious to see what they do with it.
And the controller looks like a cute dog's face.
Yeah, I love the idea of being able to bring this thing on an airplane and playing video games everywhere. Like, it's really, really cool. I've been a huge handheld guy from Nintendo stuff
You
since
never hold my hand.
since '89. Yeah, you never put it out for me to grab.
Well, I'm terrified of PDAs. Luckily, this one's sort of like a Palm Pilot. So there you go. And then, of course, we're getting a new Zelda game.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the thing with Nintendo consoles is frequently I don't really care about the machine itself. It really comes down to what's on it, and the thing that's going to be on it for sure is Nintendo stuff that won't be anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this was our game of E3 2016, and
Yes.
this is probably one of our games of 2017 too.
yeah. And then if you don't like that baby fantasy stuff, and
Go to
you want to really go to space and have sex, well, Mass Effect Andromeda's coming out too. So there's that.
Yeah, which was looking like possibly early 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what some of the
in
rumors are?
March. Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And then if you really think that going to space and banging out's for losers, and you just want someone to scream in your face and be scared,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 is coming to VR.
Yeah, it's coming to consoles, to VR. They're rebooting / reigniting the franchise here with some nods to the old stuff. But I love the new setting. I love the new tone. It just looks wet and gross and terrifying and disgusting. The found footage angle looks really cool.
Yeah.
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and they're going back to its roots.
And then of course Horizon Zero Dawn.
God, I can't wait for this.
This game is
Seriously.
going to be beautiful. It's going to be on PS4 Pro. This screenshot, I had to scale it down from like 4K, and it was just like.
Yeah.
Like you can see like her freckles on her elbow.
And that's the
It's
thing.
just
To the left
insane.
of her, you're like, is that a platform? You're like, no, it's a robot dinosaur head.
That's a direct TV that grew legs.
I really love the brontosaurus with like butler serving trays on their heads that you can put cookies and your body on.
Also, this game has colors. Remember colors?
Yeah,
I love those
love
things.
colors.
Anyway, then of course, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. It's a game with butthole in the title, so
How
there's
awesome
that.
is that? Like, I really love Stick of Truth. It's one of my favorite sort of like condensed RPG experiences. Probably one of the funniest games I've ever played. The whole like notion that I played this game and people walk by and they're like, "Oh, which episode of South Park is this?" It's so cool to me. We've seen this one get delayed a few times, but Matt and Trey are working on it. They're directly connected to it.
Yeah.
The engine's running really well. I like the new sort of thematic angle of it, so this is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, the battle system's a little bit deeper. It's almost like Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
And I think we've gotten enough superhero things that we can make fun of superhero movies now. So this is
That'll
gonna
be
great.
that'll be fun. This is a big one for you.
Yeah, ukulele. This is obviously the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. A lot of the ex-Rare folks coming early 2017 to pretty much everything under the sun. All the trailers look amazing, and this is sort of the start of that 3D platformer mascot.
The Renaissance. Yeah, like we've been missing 3D platformers for so long. They were around for so long. They got burnt out and went away. Shovel Knight's going to be in this one, so they're
cool.
calling all their indie friends and bringing everybody in.
Yeah.
So excited for this.
So cool. And then if you want the more traditional experience, we're probably gonna get a new Mario, or at least gonna get a closer look at one.
Yeah.
I was just kind of pondering about this. Like, look at all those amiibo down there. What if this is like Mario Skylanders? Like, what if this is a thing where you drop an amiibo on and suddenly you're playing
This is finally the game where your amiibo collection matters.
Yep.
That would be so cool.
I'm totally into that.
If you want the gritty platforming that's still pretty goofy, Crackdown finally coming out. They've been talking about this for ages. They've been making it so you can blow up everything.
Yeah, and they're talking this. I feel like this is gonna be the game that's really gonna launch alongside the Scorpio and take full advantage of that in terms of like the cloud computing and all that.
Yeah,
Just
this is
leveling
gonna
the
be
entire city.
one of those games where it's been so long since we've had this franchise in our hands again that I totally forgot how much I absolutely love this game. This is gonna be so cool. I love the announcer yelling at you, just amplifying everything you do, running and jumping up like 70,000 foot tall buildings and collecting orbs. So much fun.
Big fan of orbs.
The 3DS is going to get cheaper. There's no way in hell it gets more expensive. There's already a Black Friday deal going around that's going to be $100 for this new cool version of it.
Those are that's basically a Black Friday exclusive model with new faceplates and everything.
I'm always really jealous of people who come into a console generation or a console or a handheld late on.
Yeah.
Because now it's like if you get a 3DS now, I'm like, oh man, there are so many amazing games for you to get right now. I don't know where to start.
Dude, my 3DS right now has probably like 120 different games on it. It has every single Zelda game ever made besides like Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess are on that system right now.
That is so cool.
It's probably one of the best handhelds ever made.
That's so cool. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes!
This is the first Rockstar game that's being made specifically for current hardware, so it's going to look mind-boggling.
That Tone Piece trailer was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, they deliver on that front usually. It's like, it's cool to see them kind of like, I mean, with last gen, we got such a long wait for GTA 5, and that was just stunning and incredible, and then they were like, oh yeah, that's a current gen title. They kind of just capped it off, and it was like, they take their time with stuff, and it usually pays off.
And if you want to know how confident they are, like a couple weeks ago during the World Series, I saw they aired the teaser at the very least, a year before the game comes
nuts
out,
is that?
which is insane.
Yep.
Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's got alpacas in it. Like, this game, I don't know if it's going to be like too tactical for me or if it's going to be co-op Far Cry, but either way, it's got some alpacas and some ATVs. So if I can drive around, run over llamas, that's my kind of video game.
Are you trying to kill Santa? Is that
what's
Santa
going on
in the
here?
the right-hand corner?
Did you Photoshop that, or is that real?
No, it actually says that there.
Okay.
Santa has 0 points. Santa sucks at this game. Santa's a loser. He has killed 0 alpacas in alpaca rundown racing.
Either way, I love those terry cloth giraffe dogs. Great animal. Probably a top
donkeys.
5.
There are a ton more indie games coming out. For sure, we know we're
Look
going
at
to
this
get...
nightmare.
In the background, that's Nog. On the left, that's Cuphead. And on the right, that's Night in the Woods.
Cat with a bat.
These are all going to be great. I mean, if you track weird little games, you've probably been waiting for these for a while. If you don't, then you'll be pleasantly surprised when these pop up and everyone is talking about them. Sea of Thieves is the first Rare game that's like a new Rare game in a minute.
Yeah, Marty, we played this at E3.
Yeah, 4 of us played it.
It was like it was like having an AOL chat on a boat.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it was really, really great.
Like picking up random mugs and getting drunk and and then falling off the boat.
Yeah, literally the first thing I did in this game was they handed me a controller and I pressed the button and I started drinking out of a big bottle and my character started walking around drunk and got on a boat. I'm like, well, yes,
That's
great.
Yeah.
It's just a silly pirate game. That sounds awesome.
Yep.
And then, of course, VR is only going to get a lot weirder. This is
What are we
girl?
agreeing to
This is
here?
the ultimate VR acoustic guitar experience. Basically, the game starts out, and you have the opportunity to say, do you want to hear Jewel songs, yes or no?
Do you want to
If
throw this
say-
guitar in the ocean or
If
not?
you say no, the game is over. But if you say yes,
Yeah.
Foolish
Why
Games
is-
are tearing
Why
you
is
apart.
no a frowny face and yes
I don't know.
pig snout?
On a personal level, I'm like completely in love with my PSVR, and every single week more and more weird games are coming to it. I can't wait to see this platform grow. Oculus is out there, Vive is out there. Even like the Samsung Gear stuff is like gonna just get better and better and better. So
Yeah.
this is so cool.
And then finally, they're going to announce new games that we can get excited about for 2018 because the ball keeps on rolling. And I mean, we're probably going to get Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm probably not going to get it in our hands, but we're going to get a closer look at it. I'm sure there's going to be new Star Wars stuff. There's going to be obviously new Lego stuff. There's going to be another Call of Duty. There's always something. I don't know what Ubisoft's doing. Probably another Assassin's Creed. But
who knows?
They keep making video games.
And who knows how many of them next year will be like, oh, we're announcing this game and it's available right now. Or you'll be able to play it this fall. Like, I love stuff like that. So surprises are just around the corner. 2017 is going to be awesome.
Yeah. On that note, we played a game that is available right now. It costs $1, and it's about mayonnaise.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Hello, boys and girls. Are you hungry for a big creamy lunch? It's mayonnaise time, and we're playing a new game called My Name is Mayo. How do you feel about this one, Max?
I don't know. Here are the controls here. One moves the disembodied hand, and then there's the reward scroll.
Don't forget about the most important one.
Tap mayo.
Yeah.
I wonder what you do in this.
We don't know a lot about this game. I found this on the PlayStation Store. This is it.
Whoa.
That was quick.
You can see the hits.
Okay. So good. That's good. We got that.
Okay.
So it's 7 taps in.
Wow, so we are, there's a leaderboard.
God. Somebody tapped this thing 530,000 times. Oh, we got another reward.
Okay. This
game's all about tapping that mayo and getting all that nice sandwich cream out.
The Neanderthal's brain was bigger than mine is. All right.
Okay. Now we're getting random facts. Okay, no mustache, 50 hits. So that's our next achievement. How do you feel about the gameplay so far?
It's well, it's certainly got mayonnaise in it. Wow, the King of Hearts is the only king with okay.
75 hits. That's our next goal. We gotta really smack that mayonnaise jar. Get that hot cream out.
This is like a Kickstarter.
Ooh,
wear the bikini.
Are you a mayonnaise fan?
I actually am. I'm white. What do you want? I like mayonnaise.
I'm okay with mayonnaise. Ooh, hold on. Go to reward.
This will cheer us up. What is it?
This is it.
Oh,
turn this on.
I like to wear my red
Select
bikini.
this achievement to start story.
All right.
All right. Ooh, look at that sexy mayonnaise. This is a very Ren and Stimpy looking game.
Oh my. I think I like this game.
Yeah?
It's very stupid, but I think I like it.
When I was a young kid. Okay, so I guess now we have different story outfits.
Okay, so there's a campaign in this.
Yeah, this is a campaign. Really jiggling that. Is this a thing you do? Tap the mayonnaise? I know you tap the 57s on the ketchup. I can tell you something important about this life. What?
I think we already started a story.
Yeah, you can start any one you want, I think. Oh, look, now it's a young boy mayonnaise.
What?
Your controller is making weird noises.
This is very strange.
Yeah.
When I was a young kid. All right,
so here's my thoughts on mayonnaise in general. I think it's mostly used as a way to salvage a dry sandwich. I think if you have a nice, almost moist, wet sandwich, you don't need a lot of old white cream on there.
A lot of people don't know this about this game. There's a little hack is you can just use the other button.
The mother button?
The other button.
Oh, really?
The mother button.
I don't know if this game has a mother button.
Mother
it's about
button.
smacking up that mayonnaise jar.
Gather around, I'll spin you a... Okay, it's another story. Okay, there's a yarn.
There's a lot of stories. All right, so we're up to 200. Nope. You're doing good on the tappage. Whoa.
Calm down there.
What happened? How do you open this jar? I don't think this jar ever opens. You got another reward. Let's take a look at the reward. What did we get? It's a mayonnaise. Wear the bikini. Hit this 45 out of 50 times. What?
I wanted to be a rock star.
Oh, yeah, great. Now we got a guitar.
It's raining cats and dogs.
Why? In front of the mayonnaise?
Because it was a dark and stormy night. They just wanted to add cats because it's random. I really do like the art style in this. As far as it being a game, I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like this was an iPhone game that they just put on here. Also, it's weird that guy's wearing a watch. What do we get now?
Who wears a watch while you're eating some mayonnaise?
I don't know. A lot of people. Busy men.
Stormy night. It was raining cats and dogs. Diet Coke was only invented in 1982. That's...
What?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for letting us know.
How many achievements are there?
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's all. That's all of them. Okay. So we saw the leaderboards. There was something like 56 million thousand at the top. So we're well on our way.
I think we're going to get up there.
Yeah, we're actually, this video is going to be about 3 or 4 days long. So if you like seeing Max tap that mayonnaise, you're already in the right place. IGN, the #1 website for tapping that mayonnaise.
Hold on, I think there's going to be another. There we go, 500. What is it?
What'd we get? What'd we get in the old cream jar? A lot of people don't know this. You know what mayonnaise is made of?
Eggs.
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 Uggs.
Uggs.
Bunch
Ugg
of
boots.
bugs. Better get a bunch of them, put them in there, get them in a jar.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's
I'm the mayonnaise, a.k.a. Mr. Mayo, a.k.a. Manameno, a.k.a. sandwich cream, hot Samdo delight.
you're the mayonnaise dog.
You the mayonnaise dog. Thank you so much for watching us. And if you want to find out what's inside this big cream jar, you can get this mayonnaise game. It's only $1.
Why would-
Or
don't. It's actually
just
actually,
don't do
I think
that.
it's actually cheaper than
What
real
we get?
mayonnaise.
I keep getting excited.
Stressed in desserts. What?
Stressed is desserts spelled backwards.
Ah,
Actually, that's pretty good
I didn't
to
know that. That's
You know
pretty
about
good.
race car spelled backwards?
Yeah, it's race car.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Mayonnaise.
So, funny story about that one. I was like, no one's playing this game. This is a weird game. I looked in the Podcast Beyond Facebook group, which Podcast Beyond is the weekly show we do about PlayStation here at IGN. Hundreds of people are playing that game because apparently it's like the easiest platinum trophy you can get for like $1. So the game's 99 cents. You can get that platinum real easy just by tapping that mayonnaise jar. So if that's the thing you're into, and you want a pretty cheap, pretty easy plat, and you don't mind anyone walking in the room and being like, what is wrong with you? Go get that Mr. Mayo game.
There you go. So you've been a huge proponent of PlayStation VR. I don't know,
Yeah.
proponent. You bought one and you put it on your head a lot.
Yeah.
You've been playing this game called Eagle Flight, which we've seen a bit of kind of ahead of time. What's your take on this?
So, I think everyone's always waiting for that sort of killer app when it comes to VR, right? The kind of thing that you can hand to somebody and then they go, okay, I get this as a platform. We're always looking for that sort of Super Mario 64 moment. And I think we've gotten that incrementally with VR stuff. But I described the PSVR launch as having no Mario 64s, but like having 15 pilot wings. If we're going to compare it to the N64
all right,
launch.
that's fair.
Eagle Flight, which just launched on PSVR, it's available on Oculus as well, might be my favorite new VR game, period. This might be PSVR's killer app. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Eagle Flight is a game developed by Ubisoft. It is an open-world flying game that takes place in Paris after people are gone and animals and trees and plant life have taken over. So as you can see, it leans in pretty well to what PSVR can do best, which is kind of a little more cartoony graphics, which I really appreciate. You've got the Notre Dame Cathedral, you've got the Eiffel Tower, you've got all the iconic places from Paris. Great thing about this game is that it's entirely controlled by head tracking. As you can see the beak down there, it is actually a first-person VR eagle simulator game with cartoon graphics. You see your beak the entire time, and you fly through Paris by tilting your head left and right and just sort of soaring around. Now, there's multiplayer, there's a single-player campaign, which is really cool because it starts with you being born in an egg.
Ew.
So you actually see the egg
You
sort
get
of...
like a large woman eagle throwing up in your mouth.
Well, yeah, you get two big eagle mommy and daddies hanging out with you, and you look up and see them. So you actually see light coming through the egg. I won't spoil too much of the story in Eagle Flight.
Yeah.
But there's also a free flight mode. You've got this sort of Pilot Wings-esque, like flying through the sky, flying through rings thing. There's also races. There's attacks you can do. There's different settings in terms of like time of day, weather. There's really cool, just beautiful animals everywhere.
It has multiplayer, doesn't it?
It does also have multiplayer. You can do like up to 3v3 flying missions and stuff like that. So I've been predominantly playing the single player. It's a $40 game. It's the kind of game where you can put this game on people's heads and they'll immediately get it because you really just have to tilt to control it. You hold the controller in your hand. That's basically just to speed up and slow down flight. But for the most part, this is one of the most beautiful, intuitive, incredible, and original games I've played on PSVR or VR in general.
So what happens if you fly directly into something? Because these guys are all like paid to play the game.
We don't have that sound queued up because it'll scare you, but it makes this horrible bird splatting noise. Like it's just like...
Really?
Yeah, it's a real bad noise.
Okay.
So that's Eagle Flight. It's on PSVR right now. Please go check that out. Hopefully they put a demo up really soon. Ubisoft's kind of been killing it recently. I noticed that they did an update to Trackmania, which has a bunch of new VR stuff. Eagle Flight's out, and then we get Watch Dogs next week. So even though there's no Assassin's Creed or anything this year, yeah, thank you
hear
for
that?
that. Can we hear that again? Yeah, there we
There we
go.
go.
That's
Yeah.
actually me saying the word hawk.
That's weird.
It's very weird. So that's Eagle Flight. It's my favorite new PSVR game, and it might be PSVR's killer app.
Cool. Doctor Strange came out last week. The weird sorcerer man with the mustache, that funny boy. And it was one of those Marvel movies where it's like, here's a new character being introduced for the first time. And I think a lot of people were like, what's this going to do? Is this going to do well? Is it going to flop? Is it going to be like Ant-Man kind of was hit or miss for a lot of people. I was kind of expecting it to track the same way. It is absolutely not tracking that way at all. It is really, really doing well critically and commercially. Let's take a look at some sound bites from Rotten Tomatoes. Doctor Strange has a dazzling kaleidoscopic palette that compensates for the usual finished story featuring A-list actors zapping one another, along with a hero who looks fearsomely witty even in repose. New York Magazine, see it in 3D IMAX, people, and you're in for the hallucinatory head trip of the year, and having Cumberbatch around really raises the bar on what's possible in comic book fantasy. Rolling Stone, an extremely entertaining and sure-footed adaptation that manages to conjure more than enough magic to easily pass its spell check. I get it. CNN. Playful and distinctive enough to throw a wrench into the grinding gears of the Marvel assembly line, says the LA Times. That's a big thing. Obviously, people are not sick of Marvel movies because they continue to do well, but there is a certain formula to superhero movies.
Right.
Marvel movies keep kind of being good. I mean, I feel like they haven't done any weird dips lately, and they haven't done any weird like, oh my god, that's amazing. But it sounds like Doctor Strange is really managing to kind of buck the formula. The mystical settings that the Sorcerer Supreme navigates make for exhilarating sensory overload, powerfully expanding on classic visuals from pioneering Marvel artist Steve Ditko.
Yep.
The upshot, the movie develops a distinctively trippy identity, and it's sitting at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and 91% from an audience. So that's been out for a week. Meanwhile, how's it doing box office wise?
So the good news is that our bad news sometimes is that the movie industry is an industry, it is a business, so you do want things to do better than just well on Rotten Tomatoes. They have to make money too. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting here that Doctor Strange opened to a far better than expected $85 million in North America over the weekend, despite featuring a lesser-known superhero in Stephen Strange. That's a weird thing about this is like, this is sort of a Deadpool scenario where not a lot of people knew this guy. It's not like a highly recognizable Captain America, Spider-Man, Superman type of thing. It's actually made $325 million worldwide in its global haul. No one was quite sure how Doctor Strange would stack up in comparison to other installments. People were kind of thinking around the 65 to 70 million opening weekend. It opened 85 million in North America.
Damn.
So that means we're going to get sequels. It means we're going to get spin-offs. Superhero movies continue to do well, and that's great, but it's awesome when they do well and they're also critically well received and appreciated by the audience, which is that sort of three-tier attack, and if you can get all those things going at the same time, everyone's happy.
Yeah. So speaking of strange stuff and magic, we started messing around with mods in Skyrim. I realize we're super late to the party on this. Sorry, I'm a huge console baby, but I jumped onto the Bethesda mod shop and I threw some real large animals and stuff into Skyrim. So let's take a look at that.
Hi everyone, it's Brian and Max, and we're playing Skyrim Remaster on PS4 now with mods. And you probably thought to yourself, mods, that's cool, I can add all sorts of great, intelligent, wonderful stuff to my game. Yeah, you can. Or you can add giant chickens, rabbits, swift steeds.
Let's
all
see
sorts
if
of
we can do
fun.
bigger chickens.
So-
I've never done mods before, so this is all new to me. I'm a big old console baby, but you know what? Let's see if this actually works.
What's Clucky?
Clucky's a friend. Clucky's a chicken friend, but I also have I have giant chicken follower turned on.
A lot of chicken-themed mods there.
Don't
This
break,
might
don't break, don't break, don't
It
break,
might
don't break, don't break, don't break.
Because you do
don't
run the
break.
chance of it breaking. So you never played it mods because you only played Skyrim on consoles, right?
Yeah.
So this is all new for you.
Yeah, I had to pay for my mods.
Oh, I think we're in.
I think we're in. We've hacked it. All right.
Yoshi, is this our green baby boy?
I think that's our big green. That's our horny diaper
All right, let's
dinosaur.
give it a shot.
It's gonna work. All right, let's do it. Which one was it? It was a cool one. All right, whatever. Come on. Oh yeah, we do. I always panic when it does that. It's like, you sure you? I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
man. Oh yeah. Do you want to? Yeah.
Yes,
let's do
we
it.
don't care about
Yep,
trophies.
Get
We
the
want
mods
chickens.
in there. I want the big chickens.
Okay, so what did you
Big.
put? You put big chickens,
I
big
got
rabbits,
big chicken friend.
Big chicken friend.
Large ass rabbits.
Big ass rabbits.
No fine for killing the chickens. So
you
we
can kill all the chickens.
I don't know what the other ones were. I think
We don't know what the other ones are.
I forgot. It might have been fast horses, but we'll
Big
find
fast
out in a
horses.
second.
We're gonna find out real soon.
I've spawned us in an area where hopefully there's rabbits all over, but we'll find out
Yeah,
very
well, I mean-
easily because they'll be huge.
They might. I mean, we gotta say here, we're loading this game, but it could still be totally broken because there might be giant rabbits and giant chickens everywhere. Where are these majestic beasts? Do you see them?
Ah!
Oh, that was a leaf. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
You got very scared by that.
I get startled.
Uh-huh.
I get afraid. All right, so we're supposed to have a chicken follower, but I don't see him.
Maybe we should find a town.
That's possible.
That looks like some people might be living over there.
All right, let's see what these boys are. I know there's definitely chickens there.
So far, this is kind of a letdown.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd say so.
This is like looking for Bigfoot. Who is that?
That's a fox.
Okay, so the fox seems to be regular
Yeah, he's
size.
pretty normal. So far, no mods. We haven't
Okay.
seen any of the mods.
Not
Come
too
on.
worried. I
Very
think
slow.
they might still pop up.
Who are these guys?
That's just a man.
It's
He's
just
hunting
that hunter-
fox,
hunter guy.
trying to get that fox meat.
All right, I know there's a chicken at Riverwood. Maybe I can just see what happens if I can kill it.
Trying to get that
What is
sweet
that?
meat
Is
from
it a
that
dog?
fox. Yeah, it's just a cool dog. He's a mangy mutt. Don't hit him. Leave him alone. All right, let's go find those big ass chickens and rabbits.
Rabbit babby bits.
Ribbit. Rabbits are a weird animal. I don't know how I feel about them. I think they're adorable. I also think that they're like cute rats.
They're kind of just a sad animal. Like
Yeah.
I do like them, but it's also like they're one of those animals where it's like they're kind of mostly just existing to die.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, what do you got going on, dude? Oh, I'm gonna eat real quiet, and then every now and then a hawk's gonna fly by and just wreck my
Yeah. What is that?
wreck my whole
What's in
body
that
up.
tree? Mushrooms? Man, there's so far no chickens, no rabbits, no nothing. You know that the FDA classified rabbits as poultry? So this is kind of a poultry mod.
What? Really? I thought poultry had to have wings.
No. Is that what I think it is?
That's a pretty big chicken, but it's not that big.
I'm
That's
honestly pretty disappointed by the size of this hen.
that is a medium-sized hen. That's not even a big thing at all. Talk to the chicken. Okay. I mean, do you get more meat? Okay, this is not a great chicken. We spawned a medium-sized chicken. You did it, Max.
All right. Well,
Okay,
I mean,
what
there's
else
no
we got?
punishment. There's another one over here.
That's another medium-sized chicken.
Oh, look, he's sitting down also. Check this out.
I thought it said talk to the cabbage. I was like, wow.
You could talk to the cabbage. Put that cabbage on the hand. Make a nice poultry dish. Oh, come
Chase
back.
him.
Come on.
Okay, now where are the big rabbits?
I don't know.
And the horses?
I don't know.
That- okay, he's a very fast chicken. I'll give him that.
I think
With those big, long chicken
Wow,
legs.
he just got out of here, man. So where are the
Oh, look at that.
rabbits?
Oh, hold on. There's a horse.
Where?
Over there? Or is that a moose?
I think that's like an elk.
Let's go find him. Let's go see how that man's doing.
All right. What the hell was that?
Why would you jump in there?
It's delicious down here.
It's not delicious down there.
All right. Whoa. Holy mother of God.
Oh, that's a big rabbit.
That's a big bunny.
Woo! Oh, get him, get him. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, he went in the river.
Holy crap.
Oh, my
It's bigger than the damn elk.
This is great.
He's a big rabbit. Come back here, you large bunny. Also, how can it go in the water without sinking?
He
It's
walked on the
huge.
water. The rabbits are so fast they can actually
He's
run
heading for that town.
Oh, my God. What a menace.
We have to kill him.
You got to get him. Do you have any projectiles?
Yeah, I got some magic.
Okay,
I can
let's get
shoot
him
with fire.
Let's shoot some magic at this guy.
Apparently, I just have
Pistikins.
his skin, which just makes me strong.
Okay. Oh, we're cooking some rabbit. We're gonna have a big hot rabbit dinner. Everyone's invited over for
What?
the rabbit meal.
Get back! Oh my
he
God!
can't get through there. He's stuck in the rabbit door. Get him! Get him! Get him! Cook him! Cook that rabbit! Yes!
Oh, that's really upsetting.
Oh, man.
Oh God, it's huge.
That is terrifying. You're in him.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Oh my God! This little tauntaun boy.
Okay.
All right, we got that big raw rabbit leg. Everyone,
Wow.
if you're hungry for some rabbit, come on over. We're very excited to invite you. Don't roast that rabbit's ass.
Don't tell me about my magica or what I can and
Stop
cannot
cooking
do.
that rabbit's ass.
That's a big bunny.
Can you look at his eye again? Go close. I want to see his eyes. Look at that big dead eye. Oh my God, that is terrifying. The texture work is
Oh yeah.
not great.
Where's your high-res textures now, Skyrim?
So yeah, that's mods on Skyrim on PS4. If you ever wanted to play this game again against giant rabbits and medium-sized chickens,
Yeah, you can do that in a hare's eye. Is that an expression? In a hare's eye?
it is now.
Damn right.
Thanks for watching. And remember, make the sound of a rabbit. I don't know what sounds they make.
Hey, Max.
Hey, what's up?
Do you like Star Wars?
I do like Star Wars. I really like Star Wars.
Why? Why do you love Star Wars? Like we bring these toys out every single week. You and me wear Star Wars shirts. We talk about Star Wars constantly. We don't have a shot of our desk. It's covered in Star Wars toys. Our friends are working on Star Wars shows. Shout out to Scott Bromley. Working on Star Wars games. Shout out to Mitch Dyer.
And Talia Tricky.
Yeah, good people all over the world love Star Wars. It brings us all together, even though it has the word war in the title.
Yeah.
But what got you started falling in love with Star Wars?
You know, honestly, it was just being a kid, and it was the toys. I remember, so I didn't have a VCR growing up for the longest time, so whatever I saw was just stuff that was on TV. And growing up, Star Wars wasn't really on TV a whole lot until it started getting that weird kind of nostalgia loop. It came out on VHS again in 95, which I was 8 years old. So there's this weird kind of suddenly people were talking about it again. I'd pick up Wizard magazine about comics, and I'd be like, I want to learn about the X-Men. I'd be like, who's Boba Fett? And then I moved towns, and my uncle was in the hospital, and we'd be visiting my uncle, and I'd just be sitting in the waiting room and staring at this TV that had USA on it, and they'd be showing Star Wars, and they'd show bits and pieces of it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool thing. It's got spaceships, it's got swords, it's got aliens, but I was always kind of sitting down for 10 minutes and seeing a chunk of this thing, and not really fully grasping what was happening.
Yep.
So I watched Star Wars completely out of order. I think it was at Christmas of '95. I got this Micro Machines playset for Christmas. And it was one of these ones that opens up. And inside, there's this crazy bar, and it's full of aliens. And I'm like, man, this is really cool. I didn't realize I hadn't actually seen the cantina scene yet.
Yeah.
This is great. Han shoots Greedo, and he flies out of the chair, and the cops are like, what are you doing in here?
You had a dive bar playset as a child.
I did. That's so irresponsible and weird. But yeah, so then I was I went to a friend's house who had the trilogy and a VCR, and I was like, hey, what's up with that part where they go to a bar? And he's like, oh, that's in the last one, I think. And so we put on Return of the Jedi, and technically Jabba's palace has a bar in it, but it's also a totally different scene. So eventually I got the movies on VHS. I saw them in theaters when they were re-released as special editions, and I was at that point full-blown Star Wars hype.
Yep.
But it was weird because it kind of most people, they're their mom or dad takes them to see it, and they're like, hey, that's a Wookiee,
Yep.
and they watch the whole saga. And there's a certain kind of understanding going in, but I kind of pieced it together, and then I wound up reading the books and being a hardcore toy collector, and here we are.
That's so awesome.
What happened to you?
So when I was a
your
little kid,
problem?
I moved from Jersey City in New Jersey to a more quiet suburban area in New Jersey. And it was me and my younger brother, who's 3 years younger than me, and we went in my backyard. It was my first time ever having a backyard, because in Jersey City we had this kind of concrete slab. And I was bored, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bury my brother. So I dug a hole, and I started covering my baby brother in dirt, and I heard this voice from the neighbor over, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? And I look up, and there was this kid in a tree. This kid named Jeff was climbing a tree, and he's like, I'm Jeff, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm burying my brother. And he's like, don't do that. That's bad for him. So he came down and he's like, I'm Jeff. And I'm like, I'm Brian. And he's like, do you like Star Wars? And I was like, what's Star Wars? And he was like, well, you can have this little man. And he gave me this figure of Dengar.
I love that you like Star Wars when you got given the lamest action figure.
I got this figure of Dengar, who is a toilet mummy wearing a rotary phone on his ass. And I don't understand him. I still don't understand him. And at the time, I was like, what's this? I don't get it. Dengar is a character that shows up for 4 seconds in Empire Strikes Back. He's part of the bounty hunter team. I didn't know anything about this guy, and then he said, you should see the movie Star Wars. So we had a store in town called Video USA. It used to be 2 videos for 2 days for $2. So I went in there and I got The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, because I had no idea that these were even connected or telling a story. And I watched them, and I'm like, this is great. And we took them back the next day, and then I got Return of the Jedi and A New Hope. And then I took them back, and then I got Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And I kept alternating until I'd seen them over and over and over again hundreds of times. And then Jeff was a few years older than me. He started growing up. He started growing out of Star Wars. He started giving me his toys. He gave me the Jabba the Hutt playset that when you pulled back, it had the corpses underneath, and it smelled really weird, and it was dusty and musky and old. I was born in 1981, so I missed. I was a baby when Star Wars came out, but when Return of the Jedi came out, I was starting to figure it out. Star Wars lore carried for a long time. All the way through the weird dark ages, I became a subscriber to Star Wars Magazine, which came every other month. And I would just get these huge pictures of Star Wars characters. They were selling busts and toys. Then same thing happened. re-released to the special editions. They came back out on VHS. I got to hold them forever and keep them. I saw them in theaters. When they added the extra scenes to the end of the Return of the Jedi where they showed Coruscant and everybody clapping and cheering, I started crying in the movie theater. And it was the first time I ever cried in a movie because I was just like, this is just so powerful. And I got to see it with my parents. And that just sort of started it all up over again. So it was really cool. I've been connected with the franchise ever since then. Obviously, we've had our ups and downs, but
Yeah,
this has been something so important to me.
Now that I think about it, a lot of my like Star Wars exposure came from babysitters. Like I remember when I was really little, and I remember being on a tire swing at the playground, and she's like, "We watched a Star Wars movie last night, Return of the Jedi," and I'm like, "Wow, what's a Jedi? Is that like a spaceship?" And she's like, "I think it is." I don't think she knew what that movie was about. But then I had another babysitter who was like, "Hey, you want to play Star Wars Dark Forces?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And it's like, I just realized I played Star Wars Dark Forces before I'd seen that whole trilogy. The first level of that game is about stealing the Death Star plans, and in like, what, a month and some change, we get to see a movie that's entirely about that. So,
how awesome is that?
I mean, at some point, maybe we'll all get tired of Star Wars, but it's going to be a minute before I do. So.
Yeah, not for now. I mean, they're making new games, they're making new movies. You can watch a Star Wars show every week on StarWars.com on Wednesdays. Star Wars is a thing that's been there for us our entire lives, and the least we can do is give back. And one thing I want you to do is use the hashtag #UpAtNoon and let us know why you love Star Wars. But more importantly than that, our good friend Brandon Hunt actually donated to the set this beautiful robot dog horse
And this,
from Empire Strikes Back and this Millennium Falcon. I love this. The AT-AT or the AT-AT, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't have a name, or she. It needs a name. So use the hashtag.
We got a dog.
We got a dog. We need to name the dog and take it for walks and have it poop, not in the house. But if you have a name for this beautiful robot dog horse, use the hashtag #UpAtNoon and name it for us.
Help it. Don't. Nope.
There's
You know
Tengar's
what?
butt.
I will officially, like, I'm lying here because this is not true.
Yep.
But I think the way we can be like, okay, Star Wars, pump the brakes, is when we're like, they're doing a Dengar anthology movie. Here's the Dengar story. And he's like, I got to do my yoga first thing in the morning.
What is it? Is that child's pose? Or
Downward facing dog. Dengar facing dog. Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we got an awesome new movie trailer this morning. For
this is something I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Luc Besson, who directed Leon the Professional, The Fifth Element, more recently Lucy. He did that movie that was basically an Escape from New York sequel, but unofficially, and I think there was a lawsuit about that. It's called Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. The planet of, I think it's City of a Thousand, whatever. And it looks like a Star Wars movie. Let's roll the trailer here if we can. Do we have that? I hope we have that. Anyway, I'll talk about it while we're doing this. Basically, this is Luc Besson making a big, huge, just loud, insane space opera, space epic. And a lot of people are looking at this and being like, man, this totally looks like a Star Wars prequel. And it's like, no, the Star Wars prequels look like the comic book from 1967 this is based on.
Yeah.
I interviewed the guy at Comic-Con, which was a huge honor. And it's funny because he was like, the reason he didn't do this before, the reason he did kind of Fifth Element, I think the writer of the Valerian comics actually helped him with the Fifth Element. But like the reason he wasn't able to do it is because technologically we weren't there yet.
Yep.
And he said that he went and talked to James Cameron about how do you make an incredible, from the ground up, intersection of CG and practical effects and human beings and make it not look terrible. And James Cameron kind of did that with Avatar. So here we go. But yeah, it's easy to look at this and be like, oh, that looks like that scene from Episode 1, or like, oh, that looks like the diner from Episode 2, or like, oh, that looks like Coruscant. That's because all of those things drew very heavily from the original comics, which I haven't read, and I'm kind of ashamed of that, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to be weird. I think it's going to be alienating. There's Rihanna with blonde hair.
Which is awesome. There's something really cool about this kind of quiet resurgence for weird, cool, big sci-fi happening right now. That movie looks incredible. It's really, really cool that we're not only getting a Star Wars movie every year, but that we're also getting stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was kind of burned out by Jupiter Rising or whatever it was.
Yeah, that looked like it could have been really cool, but that was not a very good movie.
Yeah. So this, I think, is very different. And
Channing Tatum was a dog man.
Yeah, if you've never seen The Fifth Element, please watch that. It does feel like a weird sort of diagonal homage offshoot to the Star Wars movies, but I think it really does stand on its own. It has a couple of nods. There's these funny sort of Gamorrean guard-looking characters in it and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, what's really cool about this, people are like, the CG doesn't look great. This comes out in, I think July.
Yeah.
It's got a minute. They're going to finish that.
Yeah.
They're going to tighten it up. I think this could be like one of those really impressive visual movies.
Awesome. I'm into it.
All right.
Hey Max, how much
What?
money? Do you have any money?
I mean, like I got like a couple bucks.
Like, do you have $43,000?
I don't have $43,000.
Okay, well, if you're watching and you have $43,000 and you're just certified street crazy and you absolutely love Godzilla, you can actually get this human-sized Godzilla replica for $43,000. That's a real person back there.
You can't buy him.
Yeah, so this is actually, when we say human size, it's being disingenuous, unless this man's kind of short. But this Godzilla is incredibly tall. It's very heavy. It's based on like a small, like movie scale model of Godzilla that they replicated and made gigantic. I don't know exactly how this thing's printed, but
That's where all
my
the
God.
plastic is. It's the tail. You see,
Yeah.
the tail is the most expensive part because it's very big.
I was gonna say, looking at this thing head on, you're like, this could fit in my home, but no, this is like parking a truck in your house because look how long this thing is.
A lot of people do that. They have these things called garages. But yeah, I mean, $43,000 is like that's depending on where you're going. That's a down
Yep.
payment on a house.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a grouchy boy.
Yeah, the
but
details are pretty nuts. I'm kind of a little surprised because it's like, that's a lot of money. I mean, I feel like you
Yeah.
could hire a sculptor to build one for you.
You could absolutely hire somebody on Etsy to build one of these from scratch. It wouldn't be authentically 3D scanned, but
Yeah.
like, who is this for?
Yeah, that's it. I
Come
mean,
on,
obviously
look at
this is
his
gonna be
funky claws.
This is gonna be limited edition. You won't be able to just walk into a store and buy these because
I mean,
that's
you could
insane.
start an iguana farm for that much.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
so,
and-
like,
and
yeah.
start your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very odd. I don't know. It's 10 feet long, $43,000. It's on sale November 7th, so just a few days ago. So you can go check that out if that's a thing you're into. I don't think there's anyone watching the show that's going to order that. That's the kind of thing I don't even think you tell your friends when you
Not
get
really.
it, right?
On the other hand, there's a new Resident Evil coming out. One thing that the Resident Evil franchise always had is like some pretty iconic weapons.
Yep.
There's the kind of infinite rocket launcher.
Yep. Which you get in the first game. You actually use it to beat the main boss. In the first Resident Evil game, we actually saw some people at Comic-Con who had like
Yeah.
cardboard recreations of them.
And it's just this funny boxy thing.
Yeah, it's very low poly.
In Japan, they make a lot of plushies of funny things. I didn't really expect that they'd ever make one of the rocket launcher for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But here it is. They make one. It's very large. You
Yeah,
could
it's
probably
actually-
bring it on. You probably couldn't bring it on a plane.
Yeah, it's very huge. This goes for about $47, not
That's not
$47,000,
terrible.
but $47 can basically get you a huge pillow in your home. You can trick your friends or your significant others that you need a new pillow in the house on the couch.
I like that you can
and it
take
turns
out
to be
these
a rocket launcher.
These like funny little black puffy balls like these. You
Yeah.
could probably put a bunch of Beanie Babies in there and make it like a dog gun.
I like this. I like this a lot. I kind of want this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can reach out and get him to send us one so we can have it on the set.
Yeah, really. This is gonna be the kind of thing. If this strikes you as something you would spend $50 on, they're probably gonna be selling them at comic conventions in the next
Yep.
year and a half or so. They will trickle out there. But in the meantime, they sell that on HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. They're a great import site. One thing they will probably have in stock really soon is Figma makes this line of action figures based on something that really doesn't usually get a lot of action figures. It's paintings, famous art. It's called I think it's the Tabletop Museum collection.
Yep.
They've made the Vitruvian Man, that weird like YMCA Leonardo da Vinci picture. They made Venus de Milo, the lady with no arms. They gave her arms you can put on. They most recently made some of those little weird baby statues that are like peeing in fountains and stuff. And they finally started getting real weird. They're making an action figure based on Edvard Munch's The Scream, this iconic painting right here. This is an articulated figure. It comes with like extra hands. He's got like a bunch of joints, so you can make him like bending over. You probably have him sitting down. It comes with like a little backdrop you can assemble.
I like that he's putting his scream in air quotes.
Yeah,
there.
he's like, but yeah, like, I'm so excited for this. One of my favorite painters is Hieronymus Bosch, the
Yep.
weird, like, German crazy person who made, like, ears eating each other and stuff like that. If this isn't going to be a high-end Japanese collectible action figure line based on famous works of art, I'm 100% on board. I'm probably going to go pre-order this next time I get paid. Yeah. It also, like, if you look at it really up close, it looks like a terrifying corpse, which the painting kind of does, but it looks worse as 3D. So there's that. Brian, we've been pretty positive this episode.
We have. I'm
We've managed
proud of us.
to hold it down, but I think it's important that we address one thing that I really just I really just can't stand.
Yeah, this
there's
has been-
there's been a grave injustice this week.
This is a hard week for our country. I know many of you are upset and angry. I think that we need to all come together and redirect our anger in this universe at one thing specifically.
Yep.
They messed up the Toblerones.
Christmas is ruined.
Look what they did to
They
Toblerone.
made it look like those spike strips the cops put down.
So Toblerone, the iconic candy that you eat duty-free shops when you're depressed at an airport once every 3 years at an international terminal, has been ruined by the salvage and horror that is cheap people.
Why did they do that?
They've stripped away the joy of Toblerone. They've made it shorter and fatter and weirder and longer. Now there's all those flats and not the
I am
spikes.
scandalized and I'm outraged and I don't know if I'm going to be celebrating Christmas this year because Toblerones are always in my stocking.
Unacceptable.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
This is Up at Noon. It's a dumb show. We have fun doing it. We try to have a fun time with you guys as well. Coming up next, we got Vince Ingenito, notorious PSN logger in, ruiner of our Let's Plays. He's playing Dishonored 2 with Damon Hatfield. So don't literally just stay where you are, and that will happen very shortly. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much for joining us. We love you.
Have a great weekend.